hit it.
Great, good.
Okay, it's 5 o'clock on January the 23rd, 2024. I'm going to call this meeting to order of Point Edward Village Council. And land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that this land on which we are gathered today is part of the ancestral land of the Chippewa, Ottawa, and Potawatomi peoples, referred to collectively as the Anishinaabe. It is through the connection of the Anishinaabe with the spirit of the land, water, and air that we recognize their unique cultures, traditions, and values. Together as treaty people, we have a shared responsibility to act with respect for the environment that sustains all life, protecting the future for those generations to come. Is there anyone with pecuniary interest?
I have none. No.
And of course, if it happens at such time, you can call it then. Adoption of the minutes, council meeting from December 14th and January the 9th.
I move them both.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any questions on either set of minutes? Okay, all in favor? That's carried. Financial reports, so go into general operations, financial statements, November 2023.
Do I do that as the new finance committee, even though it was the end of 23?
Either way.
Okay,
I don't think it matters.
okay,
It's your job now.
sure, okay. Just want to make sure I
Yeah,
was following the right protocol.
Yep.
I move that the total revenues and general operations for the month of November 2023 in the amount of $224,987.24 be approved, and that the total expenditures and general operations for the month of November 2023 in the amount of $436,485.02 be approved.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor? It's carried. Environmental services,
I haven't done this part before. Where do I find that?
right here in the list. So we just did
Mhm.
general operations. The next one's environmental services.
Right.
It'll be in the bottom.
Thank you. Okay, so I will move that the total revenues and environmental services for the month of November 2023 in the amount of $104,922.36 be approved, and that the total expenditures in the environmental services for the month of November 2023 in the amount of $168,989.02 be approved. And that updated financial statements for the month of October 2023 showing revenues of $127,100.96 and expenditures of $160,613.76 be received and filed.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Okay, that's carried. Okay, general operations, December.
I move that the total revenues and general operations for the month of December 2023 in the amount of $136,406.78 be approved, and that the total expenditures and general operations for the month of December 2023 in the amount of $1,569,868.47 be approved.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Okay, environmental services, December.
I will move that the total revenues in environmental services for the month of December 2023 in the amount of $2,211.69 be approved. And that the total expenditures in the environmental services for the month of December 2023 in the amount of $149,668.59 be approved.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor? It's carried. Move on to committee reports. First one is Operations Committee, January 9th.
I'll move that the minutes of the Operations Committee meeting held January 9th be approved as circulated. And I'm sorry.
Seconder, thanks. Councilor Burgess.
I just want to make take one highlight of that, or a couple highlights out. The portable washroom's been relocated to the splash pad washroom area due to multiple vandalism acts. And it's hoped that the higher visibility and more lighting will prevent the vandalism taking place. And Boar Fencing was in to install the post for the new backstop and fence at Monk, or at McCray Park. And also they're gonna be doing Monk Street as well, Park. That's my highlights. Thank you.
Quick question.
Deputy Mayor Grimes?
Just following up on the washroom, should this continue, like providing this washroom? We've never done it for years. We've done it to help people. And then we just, last year we were vandalized, this year we were vandalized. Like, at what point do we say it's obviously not valued by somebody? Because it's costing us money too, right, to repair all the vandalism?
It does cost us, yeah.
Mhm.
So, I think that the move has been successful. I don't think there's been issues since we moved it. I will follow up on that to be sure. But I think it is something that continues. I think
Yeah.
we should evaluate. I mean, I think it gets use and there's demand for it, but if people are going to, obviously, it's not the same people, but.
Yeah. And do people know where it is now? Do we have any signage saying it's
Well,
over there around the
We,
corner?
we put a notice out.
You know, we did the constant.
I don't know.
contact
But I'm
email.
talking
Yeah.
more about people that come down to the park. They don't live in Port Edward. They're
I
looking for a
don't think-
washroom.
We didn't put any signage up that says that there's a washroom available.
Okay.
No.
Okay. And then my second question was just about the speed sign.
Mhm.
In the minutes, it says that they're getting us more clamps.
We
Did
We
we,
might get more,
Okay.
like, we're gonna budget for it and see,
did we look into returning it?
yeah, it's the smallest they have.
Money returning it and finding a company that makes proper, like signing.
I guess I
Fair,
never
certainly.
looked into that, I never asked about that.
Yeah,
No, we just,
because I know we went with like a single quote and versus just.
well, no, I got options from different
What did you-
companies. yeah.
I had-
And they're all the same size?
I guess I was not paying so much attention to the size of the unit, I was paying attention to price and what I felt was, the best
Right.
for us, and I never really paid attention to
Yeah.
the size of it.
I had different contacts from Good
Yeah.
Roads that all sent the information and I passed it to Jim, but
Because
As you
we're
say-
coming up on a year of this.
Mhm.
Having it, I would have liked to have been considering buying another one in this budget, but without having seen
Mhm.
whether this one has any purpose or does any changes habits.
Okay,
And I was in Cambridge on the weekend and I saw some signs. I'll send you the pictures, but they seem smaller and easier to operate, but. So do we know when we'll see it up or is it gonna wait till after that
well,
budget?
I figured at this point, we just wait until after the winter weather is passed. I mean, the guy says they're fine to be out in the winter, but I just thought. That was my thinking
Okay.
anyway, was to put them up after the winter passed.
All right, thank you.
I had a conversation with some people I know that are always concerned about washrooms. And I get emails all the time about our washrooms, and I told them about the vandalism. And nobody was that, they said they were more caring about having the washroom. I was a little disappointed. You should care about the vandalism. Like, it's more important to have the washroom, even if it gets vandalized, but I mean, down the road, we might have to make a decision. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So. Sorry, I flipped back a little bit, but.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
It's okay.
did. Well, because it was
I didn't have the program.
Was it-
open, so-
a conversation.
Yeah, yep.
right? Sorry, okay. Move on, we voted on that, right?
I
I don't think so.
Okay, all in favor? Move on to fire committee.
I'll move that the minutes of the fire committee meeting held January 9th, 2024 be approved as circulated.
I'll second.
Thank you. I'll just do a quick one change. Item 6 and item 9, Jen, we refer to the rescue truck and it should be the engine. Okay, so it's just a we'll just change. I think there's only the 2 references I saw for that, but and then just highlights out of that, we are working on a way to resolve who responds for alarms at municipal buildings, and the CAO is working on a solution. The chief obtained some quotes to fix the apron in front of the hall. There's a significant lip there that's only getting worse. The chief will be looking into some swift water rescue courses to be done in our river to help with responses under the bridge. The library, I'm happy to report, is reopened and back to regular operations after the roof and HVAC repairs are completed. And it's my understanding the county are quite happy with the work we did and the the scope of the work and the quality of the work, so we're happy about that. There was a big discussion on the tiered response protocol for the village and for the whole village, but primarily Bridgeview School and the special needs students. Fire department they're noticing delays when people from the village are calling 911 for a tiered response. So we are considering whether we write a formal letter to EMS outlining our concerns. And we have requested input from residents on amendments to the fireworks bylaw. And the CAO said that he has received some responses already, and we hope to get more. So if you have concerns or comments on fireworks in the village, that would be a good time to send them along. That's all. Thank you.
All in favor? Okay, environmental services,
Okay, so I will move that the minutes of the Environmental Services Committee meeting held January 9th, 2024 be approved and circulated.
I'll second that.
Just a couple of quick points from that meeting. There is one full-time vacancy due to a resignation that is posted currently in the department. Michigan Ave storm repairs are being repaired soon for the worst section along Michigan Ave, and Environmental Services is going to work with the county in the spring to repair the remaining sections along Michigan Ave. And the manager of the department is going to be looking into the possibility of using PPE to mitigate the working conditions for the team there. That's all.
If I can just comment about what Councillor Noctor was talking about Michigan Ave, so as part of our condition assessment, I don't know how aware council is of this, but they found a spot down on Michigan in front of Alberts that the culvert was basically completely gone. And quite a significant sinkhole was developing, so that's what we're working with the county looking to getting that fixed. It was coned off for a while. I see it's not now, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but I will. That's what that's all about anyways. It's a significant problem with that road that was discovered as part of our condition assessment work we're doing.
and when that piece of Michigan Ave was done a couple years ago, it didn't come as far as where this sinkhole is. So that's why it's wasn't as up to date.
Just on that, I was there that day, they were fixing it and they fixed the sinkhole and they put some new piping in temporarily until they can fix the whole thing. So they did leave cones there though.
One could argue the work we did probably,
It may be all that needs to be done. at that
you know, I mean,
point.
like the scoping and all that stuff in finding this problem probably saved us as much as we spent to find it, right? Because the sinkhole would have,
Oh,
If it's
yeah,
paved,
you know,
Yeah.
caved in the
Yeah,
middle of July
In the-
or whatever,
yeah,
right? Like we
yeah.
could have had some serious issues. So,
yeah.
so the preventative work that we moved forward on sounds like
yeah.
it's worthwhile.
Okay, all in favor? Thank you. Finance Committee of January 9th.
I'll move that the minutes of the Finance Committee meeting held January 9th, 2024 be approved as circulated.
I'll second that.
Any questions? All in favor? Thank you. Move down to the AMO, or so the communications received and filed. There's 5 AMO watches.
I'll move that items
I think we need.
1 to 5 be approved, be received and filed.
Second that.
Thank you. All in favor? Okay, move on to new business. First item is the Village of Point Everett 150th anniversary.
So this is just a preliminary report prepared. Talking about 2028 will be our 150th anniversary. Interestingly enough, I was looking for a document today and I came across the press release that went out in January of 2003 about the 125th anniversary to establish a committee. And that didn't go out until January of 2003, so they didn't start it until you know, didn't start the planning until that year. It's interesting. But anyway, I digress. Just trying to open up the document here. There's a recommendation that basically that we reach out to the public and see if there's interest amongst individuals and user groups to see, you know, what kind of involvement people would like to have in organizing an event. And there's been some suggestions made about what we might do. If there's any recommendations or questions?
I have a question.
Councillor Burgess?
Over speaking with other municipalities that have just gone through this, did they reach out to the Lambton County Archives to see if there was anything directly related to their community? Would we be able to do that? Then every once in a while, I'll see something that comes
Sure.
up
Yep,
on their social media feeds, old photos, and I know they have a push right now trying to do a hockey history thing through the Lambton County Archives. If they would have any contribution to help us out
Okay.
with any information.
Could,
it is, that's a good idea. And we also have our historical section at the library.
Mhm.
Um,
And then we had a member of our community volunteer to be part of the Historical Society as well. That might be a good person to see if they have any access to more information with that connection.
So what does everyone think as far as timing? Deputy Mayor
As
Grimes?
far as,
Timing for forming, like to organize, like to send out notice who wants to be involved.
I think
and
sooner the better. Yeah, I
Like
agree.
Troy did it 5 years
Yeah.
ahead. This is-
For it. So is the focus, the plan sort of be like, bring a committee together, let the committee drive what we want, or do we want to give the committee sort of a bit of a scope or some parameters of what we want? Like, we want to bottom up or top down?
yeah, I think. I would assume that there'd be some council involvement in the committee itself, like I think. Getting some feedback from the public on what kinds of events they'd like to see.
Mhm.
And then, you know, putting some thought behind that into the costs and do we have the human resources that, you know. Do we only have the human resources to organize one event, or could say that any of the churches that are still active in the community kind of form a partnership and they do an event, and then maybe the school does an event, and maybe the Optimist Club and the ex-servicemen work together and do an event, and we might do multiple things that way. So, but I think reach out, find out what kind of commitment there is from people, what ideas they have, and then, you know, kind of put some kind of a budget together for that and see how we feel. I mean, I think getting ideas from the public and
Mhm.
then, you know, I think the final decisions have to come from this level because they're gonna cost.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Some events are gonna
So
cost.
take the pulse. So as I said in my notes from going to the Petrolia one, that's simply their decision. Petrolia decided to do a year-long collection of events, but they're different. They're larger and they have the Victoria, like even that whole event at the Victoria Theater was so different to have a facility like that and the staff that organized and did the music and everything, a lot of it. So it's just something that they have available to them, but somebody at Petrolia said, well, you have your waterfront. And I said, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we
Which
do.
is-
But yeah,
Yeah.
they're assuming that we would do something at the waterfront,
Mhm.
which, so it's a part of the decision is how many things would you do? And then you kind of, then you'll gauge how much money you need to, and what is it people want to see
The difference is the weather, like,
and whether.
you know, VPV,
Well,
has got that facility, it doesn't matter what the weather is. but
Yeah, yeah,
you organize an outdoor event, there's some risk.
yeah. That event was, it was $50 to attend in the theater.
So I'll move the recommendation then, Marion.
Second,
I lost my agenda, so a second.
Oh, you're on that one.
All in favor? Thank you. Misplaced my agenda because I
Just early contribution.
rolled it into here.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, so the next one is municipality contribution statement. This is the most recent payment from the casino, which ends our contributions received in 2023.
We ended up being $1,981 short of what we set in the budget, so. Clearly would have made our budget if they hadn't had to close for that.
If I had gone a few more
Cyber
times.
attack, or if, yeah.
We would have made money. We would have
we'd
been
have-
over budget if we hadn't have lost 3 weeks due to their cyber attack. So again, you can budget, but I mean, I think we did a good job in budgeting. We just didn't plan for another catastrophe.
Having said that,
Yeah.
we're still a long ways off the heydays. of
Oh,
Casino revenue, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're like a third, down a third from, well, we used to be up in the 650 range for a while, and now we're averaging in the 400, so.
Yeah,
It's just a very significant loss, but it is what it is.
Okay,
motion to receive.
motion to receive and file.
I'll make
Thank you.
the motion. See Bob.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
So the next item is just a motion to bring forward. So these are projects that were either delayed or partially completed in 2023 in the Environmental Services Department. And so what we do with those projects, we move the funding, charge them to the 2023 budget, and then move the money forward to the 2024 budget. And that's what this motion will be doing, is to move that funding forward.
Okay, do I have someone that will approve the motion?
I can do that.
Yep.
And that $499,705.19 be transferred from the 2023 budget into account 01-4040-0420 to complete 2023 incomplete capital projects in the environmental services.
Thank you, seconder.
I'll second.
Thank you, Councilor Mondu. All in favor? Thank you.
And then at some point in the future, there'll be a similar motion for the village budget, but. We need to. This prepared for right now.
New business item, Mayor Hamlin, you're.
Yeah, I do too. Sorry, I
Yeah,
just like,
okay.
where was the thing about going in camera?
There's another one. But that's your. I'll find it.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, you want to go first and then
Yeah,
I'll,
we do that.
I've got one here.
So I'm just putting in a request that, the CAO bring a report back to the next council meeting on. Which one is it?
Yeah.
Okay, on pecuniary interests. I'm seeing that we are, maybe, in my estimation, over declaring when I compare it to other communities. So, St. Clair Region Conservation already came to us and asked for money. I declared a pecuniary interest. They made the same request to Sarnia last week, and no one from the board, they have 3 board members declared a pecuniary interest. Same thing happened with Laws last week for the mayor. And then we're coming into our budget session, and I'm worried about when we get to Bridgeview School, whether Councilor Noctra has to declare, when we go to Pima, whether I have to declare. So I'm just wondering if we can either speak to our, what do you call that guy?
Commissioner? or-
Integrity Commissioner?
Integrity Commissioner. Yeah. It's good we don't, it's good that we
Yeah.
don't know his title that
Yeah.
well, but
And how much he charges?
yeah, but just to seek some clarification on whether are we being too cautious, or are others, like, we don't want an opinion on the others, but just are we operating properly, and just seek some clarification, because like, we talked about for Pima, I'm a trainer on a bench, no children involved in the program. Do I have to declare a pecuniary interest? I know Councillor Burgess has children who play in the program. Does he have to declare, and also operates his business with them? So just where does that line go? And the same with the laws and the conservation, and like, we have Councillor Noctra on the Bridgeview School Board or Parent Council to advise us. And then when we go to discuss their request, she technically wouldn't be available to give us advice because she's had to declare. So
Right.
if we can get something back.
So I declared a conflict. You suggested that I needed to, and Plimpton, Wyoming did not. So their mayor sat through the Clintons' presentation and request for funds, so it's just different.
So I'll get, try and get a letter from the integrity commissioner to explain things a little bit. The way we're conducting ourselves is based on the direction we were given by him at that training session out in Wyoming
Mhm.
last year, so.
And based on what happened in, wasn't it Plimpton Wyoming with the Optimist Club and the concession stand?
Brooke Elvis.
Brooke Elliston, yeah, yeah. Remember they had that case where they voted
Yeah,
on.
there
they-
was.
Yes, yeah,
yeah.
not that long
Yeah,
ago.
so, and I mean, what, again, I shouldn't be advising you on conflict of interest stuff. That's not my place to do that. It's a fairly legal concept. But I can talk to our integrity commissioner and ask him to put in writing some guidelines and, you know, as far as what others do, I mean, the chances of someone filing a complaint because the mayor doesn't declare a conflict on something as broad as laws. I mean, it's not likely to happen, but the
Yeah.
potential is there, and who knows what kind
Somebody
of
gets
decision
mad at
might
me.
be made, or, and same thing with
Yeah.
it, like, yeah. I will get a report back and and try and get some clarification, and I don't think we should,
We can't,
I'm concerned about.
we're
what
not
other
basing it on
communities-
what others do.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, and that's
Yes.
what
But
I tried
it's
to,
just-
I tried to
yeah.
withdraw that. I don't care what,
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
to review what others are doing.
Yeah.
But I just want to see that we aren't over
Okay.
declaring and that, just some clarity and, you know, yeah, that's all.
Okay.
And then you could probably provide some examples of some that have come up and where that was it required for the declaration to be made.
And so here's another one. Not yet, but I'm on the tourism board, Sarnia Lambton Tourism. And I'm here to just bring forward an announcement that we just found out that Sarnia Lambton is getting to host the World Under 17 Hockey Challenge November 1st to 9th in 2024. And they said that's the largest annual tournament except for the 19-year-olds. And this is based on the success of hosting the women's tournament. They approached. Yeah, so now they're going out, like doing their work with hotels and working with PASA on the venue, and then they will be making a request. I'm just gonna tell you, they're gonna make a request for some MAP funds for our next budget because of like our hotels will all be at capacity. So that would be an example. If that's on the budget and I'm on the board, I will need to know if I have to leave the room. But at this point, it's just making the announcement that we got this tournament. We just found out.
This area did host this tournament before in
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah,
And it was very well run.
Yeah.
And I know Hockey Canada was very happy with all the facilities, and they ran it out of Forest and Progressive Auto.
yeah, I'm not sure yet, just because I just got it, but I don't know if they use other arenas besides PASA, like what will happen.
Well, they ran one out of Forest, the Shores
Okay.
Rec Center.
I was thinking of Point
and
Edward. If
They
we would
had
get any.
an exhibition game in Watford.
Okay,
Would they not need practice ice as well?
Mhm. However, we're very, very small for what European teams
Oh,
use,
yeah,
so I don't think they'd be flocking to the small rink in Lambton County.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Forest is the perfect facility.
Forest
for that.
is Olympic size ice, they have a good sheet ice
And
there,
they've large stands and
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yep.
but that's why we lost out. Because Mayor McKenzie at the time asked the question why Watford got an exhibition game and Point Edward didn't.
that's the size of the arena.
Their rink was slightly bigger.
Well, I just wanted to make the note that we did not submit a bid to host and they approached, so it's because you're getting a good reputation on, you know, being able to support such events.
Yeah, and because of what Vicky does,
Yes.
she's very active
We're
with
very lucky.
getting sports tourism. And Mark, of course,
Yeah.
is involved too,
He
so
puts a lot into it.
those people for sure have to be recognized for bringing that here.
Okay,
Can we have a motion on Deputy Mayor Grimes brought up about the integrity
Sorry,
commissioner and
yes.
hearing? It just should be.
I'll move
that's
it.
his motion and then seconded by Councilor Mondu. All in favor? Okay,
Thank you.
mine was just for information, so now I'm at,
Any other?
is there any other new business that anyone has?
Are we into community events or anything
Oh.
yet,
Yep.
or,
Yep. that'll
or
work.
is that?
Yep.
Are we segueing into that?
Yes,
I don't want to steal this if anybody else was there or had it, but Point Road Minor Hockey did a great Spirit Day
Yeah.
and it was under short timelines. It's just the secondary
Yeah.
schedule came out. It lined up that everybody was playing. I wasn't there the whole day, but I saw your picture there, so I know you were involved, but it was a good event. And when I came in for the older teams plan, it was a packed house, lots of people watching, and it was good on them for being able to operate
Well,
that and
with-
turn it around in a very short period of time.
like about a week, I think.
Yeah.
I just felt disappointed for I think it was U11 for the team that backed out to come here because of weather.
Mhm.
So every other team had all their grandparents and their families watching them play, you know, and they played a 3-on-3 game against each other, so to fill up the slot, but it was a good day and my grandson appreciated the donuts for the U5s. Sprinkle donuts. Okay. Anybody else have anything? Okay, move on to bylaws.
So bylaw 1 is our bylaw that allows us to charge interim taxes. So what we do there, we send out bills for payment due the 1st of March based on 1/3 of what the tax bill was for the previous year. So this bylaw is what allows us to do that.
I just, one question. I thought bylaw 1 we approved at our last meeting. Would this not be bylaw 2?
You know what?
Because we had a January meeting
In
already.
January, and that was our confirmation. I meant to
Mhm.
bring that up earlier and it just jumped out at me again because this is a finance thing, so I was looking at it. I'll move that, if you
We'll
want
sort
to
out the
change it to
number.
have bylaw 2.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Thanks for catching that.
I'll move that bylaw number 2 being a bylaw to provide for interim tax levies for the year 2024 for the corporation in the village of Point Edward be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed on this 23rd day of January 2024.
Okay, second.
Deputy Mayor Grimes seconded. All in favor? Okay, thank you.
That's finance.
And then the second bylaw allows us to borrow money if necessary for expenditure in the current year. We haven't had to do that for as long as I've been here, but we have the bylaw in place just in case we do have to do that.
Okay, so I'll do that one as well then.
Counselor
So
Burgess,
I'll move
seconded.
that bylaw, I don't have to read it all. That's okay. We'll just change it
Just
to
got
3.
the words.
Okay.
Seconder. Counselor Doctor. All in favor? Okay, so now I need a resolution to adjourn to an in-camera meeting to discuss personnel matters, which we are allowed to under the act.
We can move
Deputy
that.
Mayor Grimes and Counselor Burgess. All in favor?
Thanks, Cam.
Thanks for coming out.
Yep, home in time for dinner.
Yeah, it was a. Sorry, short agenda.
So again, I don't know, we'll try and figure out how to get. Part of the issue is I don't know what you guys see on your iPads. I mean, I know how I get to the material on my computer, but I have obviously different access than others do. And
But it had a clip, so I thought there was something underneath it, but nothing came up.
yeah,
I wonder if you should almost create a Jim Burns 2 login, like a second login for you to be, when you do something, you could like see what
well, it's not even
as a
even
counselor.
that because it'd still be on the computer. You guys do it on,
Yeah, but I was on my computer today and it wasn't there.
okay,
I was on my desktop at home.
okay,
So it's not, I don't think it's an
It's a
iPad.
computer.
okay.
Yeah, it's just the access or the rights were being given.
We also have to we can't do it from where we are on the main page. We actually have to go into a different setting and click on close to be able to see it, because we can't see it on the main page either.
Yeah, like, I'll bring this up and show you guys. So this is what I see, and if I want to be in the regular part of the meeting. So this is this is the in-camera session, everything in camera. And then this menu up here, and I move down to closed. Click on the close, and that takes me into the closed session, and then I can access those documents. But I was looking on Ariana's,
I didn't go to
Yeah.
closed. I wonder if that
That
would have
was
been
me.
the difference if I had gone down to closed and gone in that way.
No.
and I don't
Well, I
think
mean,
that.
not on
Didn't work?
yeah,
It doesn't
like,
work
we don't
online.
need you in
We don't
there.
have that menu.
Okay,
That's an like an administrator level
Okay.
menu.
And so